It's alright, it won't be long, it won't be too long. It's alright, you're not all wrong, you're not too far gone. You're alright, the stolen fire beneath my window. Yeah, you'll be fine. Just keep an eye out and keep your mind
Show. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Bo Johnson's New Material Comedy Show. Before we bring up your headliner, give it up for this up-and-coming new kid on the scene. Show him some love. Hopefully he'll do well tonight so he'll keep his career going. Give it up for your host and MC, Bo Johnson, everybody.
Hello, thank you all for coming to the New Material Show. Who, by round of applause, who's seen me do stand-up live before? Okay, good, that's most of you. So if you haven't seen me do it before, maybe you saw it online or a friend brought you. So it'll be just like that, but a lot worse. And that's the whole spiel. It was advertised very clearly as what it was. You know, we purposefully had a really hard time turning off the lights just to set up an expectation for how the show would go as a whole. And so everything it's going to do will be some stuff that's a little bit new, some stuff that's very, very, very new. You'll probably be able to tell. And then some stuff that's a little bit weirder and maybe, arguably, some would say, not stand-up comedy whatsoever. So, let's say, you know, first of all, I love coming to Portland. I'm from Seattle, and I do think, oh, wonderful. I do like Portland a lot. I feel like whenever I'm here, it's two split opinions. On one hand, I'm like, this is the best part of the Pacific Northwest, and I'll have the best people, and then I'll go into the wrong coffee shop. And I'm like, this is every single caricature and what everyone in the rest of the country thinks that we are. But I do love cities like Portland and Seattle. We do have the worst graffiti in the country, though, you know? Like, I was in a bathroom, and just in the stall, it said, mental health is a human right. And I was like, you're not wrong, but who do I call for a good time? Also, let's just address at the top of the show, the way the room is built is 3 different audiences. And it's gonna feel like I'm ignoring you and you, but this feels wrong. So I'm gonna do my best to make sure everyone feels included, but I think for the most part it's gonna feel more like just this is how the show goes. Also, I've never been to the room before, and I do realize it feels less like a comedy show and more like I'm launching a new Apple product. So the reason I want to do shows like this, you got to write a bunch of new material. Also, you came because maybe you know me, maybe you saw a video online. We have to do all these videos now to do stand-up. And I was in Indianapolis a few weeks ago in the bathroom stall, and this guy was listening to comedy videos on Instagram in the stall next to me, and one of my jokes came on. So I left and I washed my hands. I just waited for him to come out. And he opened up the door and just saw me staring at him. Like there was some kind of a weird glitch in the universe. And I could see him doing some mental math, and he just went back into the stall, and he shut the door, and I can only imagine he took his phone out, and was like, onlyfans.com. And went back out, and I was still there. I've been doing just this now for about 1.5 years. And when I first quit my day job, I had a friend tell me, because, you know, you could consider nude art modeling. Anyone can do it. And I was like, you're half of a sentence away from a compliment. And I looked into it a little bit, I did. And it's mostly, it's weekday afternoon courses. So it's the same clientele you see on like a Wednesday in a water aerobics class at noon. That's you? Yeah. Yeah, that part, you're maybe even a little bit younger than that demo, to be honest. That part did appeal to me a little bit, because I was like, let's say that, it would change the dynamic of like, let's say that we met on the street, and you're like, you look familiar. Have we met before? I don't know. Does your grandmother like to paint? Do I look familiar now? To be clear, I'm not calling you a grandmother. I'd planned how the joke went, and then you went, that's me. And I was like, well, there's no way but straight ahead. Maybe I will perform this way. So I do appreciate all of you coming because I didn't have to run any ads to sell the show out. I know there are empty seats. I want to be clear, they just aren't here and I have their money. I did sell those tickets, and that's fine. But I appreciate you coming because sometimes it's really hard to get people to come out, and I have to do creative kind of guerrilla marketing techniques. And so would you hit the, oh, we already did it, great. So I made a little Craigslist post and it said, hot blonde seeks plain-looking man. Me, a smoking hot blonde brain surgeon with ample cleavage and an ass that won't quit. You, a plain-looking man with brownish, maybe blonde hair, could have been black or red in the dark light. Hard to say. You were wearing jeans and a nondescript shirt. I couldn't tell if you were white, black, or Asian. I don't see race. I saw you at the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club in San Antonio. I'll be there again this Sunday, 12/4, to see Bo Johnson headline for one night only. You might have seen him on Comedy Central, Don't Tell Comedy Secret Sets, or the now canceled, then lowest rated daytime talk show, The Meredith Vieira Program. And like I'm in a point right now where I get some cool opportunities, but they're often like they look better on the outside. So we can hit the next slide. Oh, one more. Oh yeah, this was advertised. Crowd work. Everybody's gonna get it. Like you, Grandma. I put this in here because I was like, maybe the material won't work. So that's just a little excuse to maybe we'll go into it. But next slide, please. So this is kind of the type of opportunities I'm getting. Because I'm Hassan from the California store marketing team. Basically, they're offering me the chance to get some free merchandise, and all I have to do is advertise it on my social media platforms. So let's take a look at the type of clothes they think that I would be good for. And I want to be clear, this is an insult to all of you, too. Because you're the people that were like, Bo Johnson's fans would love to wear a shirt like this. You might have noticed there's a little one of two up there. So there's a back. Is it a white back shirt? Let's take a look. Maybe it gets better. So anyway, that's kind of where I am in comedy right now. I'm getting a lot of cool sponsorship deals. One other thing I wanted to share in like the kind of opening little host set is it's a one-time thing just for this show. Never happened before. We can go to the there we go. Stay here. A few weeks ago, I was opening for a much more successful comic in a venue that doesn't look like an Apple store, named Jessica Curson, and I got a message after the show. If we go to the message. So basically, my boyfriend, who I dragged with me, refused to laugh at any of your or Jessica's jokes the whole night for a very mature reason. And so the next day, she broke up with him and was like, anyway, if you're in Portland, I think you're attractive and interesting, and I thought it would be poetic if we went on a date. So I do have a girlfriend, but I was like, this is the best message I've ever gotten. And I wanted to share this with you for a couple of reasons. First of all, sometimes men come to shows and they don't have a good time. And I want you to know that there are consequences. If you don't have a good time, something might happen. The other reason, though, is you, Olive, so you came to the show. This isn't a surprise. So I got you a gift. That's the alarm for when I give out the gift at the show. We are very on schedule right now. Amazing timing right there. So I did get you a gift. And I think that actually, can I ask a couple questions first? Sure. Your ex-boyfriend. Yeah. Do you still follow each other on Instagram, anything like that? He unfollowed me. He unfollowed you. But is he still looking at stories? Okay, well, this doesn't work quite as well then, but he'll probably come back at some point. Oh, you still live together? Oh, well, I have a great shirt for you to wear home in case you want to have a big fight tonight. Actually, before I give this to you and encourage you to wear it home, is he a violent man? Comedian Bo Johnson killed. So I got you a t-shirt. You can wear this home tonight. Your ex, I think he'll really love it. It'll really impart a lesson. Actually, a couple more questions. When you broke up with him, were you like, it was the comedy show?
I didn't mention it.
Okay. So he should know. He will know after tonight. So I got you a shirt. We can go next slide. That's not that shirt. So anyway, I got you a shirt, and it says, I went to a Bo Johnson comedy show. I went to a Bo Johnson comedy show and didn't laugh one time. And so there's the back of the shirt. So I got dumped by my super rad girlfriend. So there you go. You're the only owner of that shirt. And so it'll be a really great conversation starter tonight for a conversation I'd like to call your ex's new least favorite comedian. Let's go to the next slide. Oh yeah, okay. So the other thing I thought would be good to do, be kind of fun, is I found for the spirit of the show my comedy notebook from the first year I ever did stand-up, and I thought we could go over some of the jokes I wrote and some of the journal entries as a whole as well. This is what you're looking at now. It says, this evening I performed my 7th stand-up set at Scratch Deli and I killed. Sometimes people are like, is it hard right away? And not for a natural like me, you know. But I thought maybe we could share some of the material I was doing. So one of the jokes I had early on, I picked out some that maybe have more of a chance. One of them was about how my friend Brian had a girl roommate, and she told him that she would have a threesome with him, but only if I messed up the joke already. My friend Brian had a roommate, and she told him, I'll sleep with you, but only if you can get one of your friends to join in a threesome. And he didn't have a lot of friends at the time, so he was like, you have to have a threesome with me and my roommate. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And he was like, are you homophobic? And I was like, no, I can't do that with you because you have a twin bed. And I can't tag into the threesome like some kind of a WWE wrestling match. Your furniture does not hold up the infrastructure of your dreams. We'll do the next slide. I'm lost. Oh, so this is another one I wrote. This one, Sam's Club. I wish I was named Sam. That way everybody that I've slept with would be called Sam's Club. That's the kind of stuff I was working with. Next slide. I'm kind of lost in some of these. Okay. Tonight's open mic was a challenge. The room had soured by the time I went on, didn't go all out with my material. I don't really know what that means, to be honest. One other joke that I found in here quite a few times, this is another joke I was telling. It was, everyone's always talking about pirate booty. But if you ask me, Blackbeard's got a flat ass. And that was in there about 9 or 10 times. So I was really working on that for a while. We'll do the next slide. I'm waking up this morning after a mediocre set the following evening. The more I do open mics, the more committed I am to becoming better, but also I'm seeing a sample of the long road ahead. Very correct. Where are we on time? Okay, so I think here's how the show is going to go. I've got 2 great local comics. They might do really great stuff that's polished. They might also choose to do some stuff that's new. And they're going to do like 12 or 15-minute sets. And then I'm going to keep going through more stuff. So that's going to be the show. And why is it like that? Because I don't have 80 minutes of new material and slideshows. That would be crazy. But are you guys ready to have a great time? Your next comic coming to the stage. I think she's so great. She runs a bunch of really wonderful theater shows and some local stuff in Portland, around the Oregon area and Portland as well. Please give it up for the very funny Dorothy Geary.
Hi there. Well, I just want to say that I wrote something similar to and my mistake was I included a picture, so I never heard back from Bo. I don't quite understand it, but okay, so I have a little rule. No, it's not a rule because I was a teacher for 100 years and that wouldn't be good. It's a suggestion because I'm thinking of all of you. All right? You have to believe that this isn't about me. I want you to laugh, even if you don't think I'm funny. Because how will you feel? Yeah, if it's my last performance. Yeah. So, I've been fourscore for almost 2 years now. All right, there's no clapping. That means that now it's okay, you understand. But many people didn't have to memorize the Gettysburg Address. That is, fourscore is Gettysburg text talk for 80, for God's sake. I'm an octogenarian. You're still not clapping, Jesus, I'm leaving. One of the nice things about being an octogenarian is that people are so impressed with everything. Oh, you walked 2 miles? Wow. You do stand-up comedy standing up? I was just in your bathroom. You don't have a raised toilet. Yeah, it's a little annoying, but it is good because you get away with everything. So, I know more than Gettysburg text talk because I'm cool. But there was a time when I didn't. Wasn't that long ago, I don't think. Anyway, somebody I was working with, who was a lot younger because everyone was a lot younger, she was always texting, LOL, LOL, LOL. Pretty soon, I got pissed. And I text back, stop calling me little old lady. Yeah, now I know it means lots of love, so I'm all up to date. I don't know about you, but I have a favorite text talk. Okay, I want you to know I know it's not called text talk, but I also have to tell you, I've never heard anything that it's called. My favorite text talk is WTF. I mean, I was raised not only didn't I ever say it, no one ever said it around me. That's what happens when you're a little old lady. And now, oh my God, I love that word. It fits everything. It can be something horrible. It can be something funny. It can be anything. And I wake up in the morning often and think about what was my favorite WTF yesterday, because it just starts my day off. I'll just give you one example because apparently I'm being timed and there'll be a light that I won't see. But, yeah. So I've already told you I was a teacher for 100 years. All right, here's my WTF that gives you an example. Teachers should carry guns. What the fuck? Okay. It wouldn't have mattered if I was 21 when I first started teaching, or a few years ago when I was a consultant and, and I was in my 70s. So it could have been chalk or whatever we were using. But here's how it would have gone. Has anybody seen the whiteboard pens? My glasses, I probably left them on one of your desks. Would everyone check the floor to see if my gun is there? And then what would happen is, if I didn't carry a gun, none of the parents would want their children in my classroom because they wouldn't be safe. It's fair enough, right? But if I did carry a gun, yeah. None of the parents would want me and their children in my classroom because they might be killed with friendly fire. Yeah, so I'm pretty old. But I'm still kicking, right? Yeah. Well, I didn't used to even worry about wrinkles. Even in my 70s. What? I didn't care. And when I was caring for my husband who had Alzheimer's, but, I was really lucky. My husband had a wonderful sense of humor. Wasn't too reliable, didn't make much money, but God, he was funny and he had the greatest blue eyes. He was gorgeous. Anyway, we were married for 51 years before he died. And yeah. Well, we split up a few times, but but we made it. So he had Alzheimer's, and here's the thing. Alzheimer's, and you may not know this, and you might want to turn. How many of you are here with somebody who's a partner or something? Clap. Okay. Turn and take a look. Does that person have a really great sense of humor? Okay. If not, dump that person immediately. Because if you plan to stay together, here's the thing. Alzheimer's doesn't affect the part of the brain for sense of humor. Did you know that? However, no one has ever developed a sense of humor when they got Alzheimer's. And believe me, it made it better. So I remember the first time I was really aware of wrinkles. My husband looked at me really strangely. I thought rather judgmentally. And he said, "How old are you anyway?" And I said, rather defensively, "I'm 73. 73? I never would have married you if I would known you were that old." It didn't help when I told him he was 84. Not at all. And then another example. It was a little confusing in the morning sometimes. And I was in bed. And he was up and he came into the bedroom and he was really upset. And he said, "Have you seen Dorothy? I can't find Dorothy." And I raised my hand, here. "No, not you. I mean Dorothy, my wife." And then he left the room and he came back again. He said, "I can't find her." And I said, "My name is Dorothy. And I don't know much about your wife. But if she lets you sleep with me, she must be really open and great." He caught on with that, started to laugh, and he said, "I guess you're it." So then, how am I doing on time, Bo?
You got about 3 minutes left.
Oh my God, I got 3 minutes left. Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna be on time tonight. I've been disqualified from Portland's Funniest for 3 years. But I get longer tapes than other people do. All right. Wrinkles. So during COVID, oh no, I confused myself. One of the things that occurred to me, made me feel really bad, was what it must be like to wake up every morning and be 40 and be sleeping next to this old wrinkled lady. And when I started looking at men after he died, I really got it. I don't have Alzheimer's, but I'm telling you, I'd look, oh my God, he's really an old fart. So then, during COVID, something interesting happened, because I was, worried about wrinkles after he died. And I suddenly, well, you're alone, right? And I started looking in the mirror, and after about a month, my wrinkles were less. How many of you had less wrinkles? Because you lived cleaner or something, I don't know. And each month, I would notice more and more. And when I would go out, meet with friends outside that were my age, I would look at them and go, God, they're really wrinkled and old. But, I still have a filter here, so I didn't say that. And I'd go home and look at myself and go, God, you couldn't be better, Dorothy. And then this continued until I finally realized, and if you want this to happen, it's very cheap. In fact, you save money. The bulbs kept going out. I had 5 bulbs above my sink. And they kept going out one by one by one, till there was only one, and I was gorgeous then. And I realized I had so damn much confidence. Nobody cares. Just us, right? I did replace one bulb when it burnt, the last one when it burnt out, because I do have to see myself. So, how many of you want to hear about my sex life now? What the fuck is wrong with you people? Get a life. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Keep it going for Dorothy, everybody. All right, we got one more comic, one more guest, and then I'll do some more of the new stuff. Your next comic, friend of mine, so funny, does stand-up all over the country and in Portland. Make some noise for the very funny Shane Brendan.
All right, give it up for Dorothy, everybody. One more time. Yeah. I was ready to hear that nasty shit. Anybody else? Yeah, right? Oh, man, she edged the fuck out of all of us. I sat there patiently through all that stuff, and she was like, who wants to hear about my sex life? I'm like, ooh, baby. Yes, Dorothy, give it to me. Let me hear about that flapper shit. Let me hear about that prohibition cuck stuff. Sorry, that's a very weird, horny way to start. Hi, how you guys doing? We good? Thank you guys for being here to watch my buddy Bo. Really I salute the scam. I salute what he's doing here. It's like, hey Shane, let me come to your city and get a bunch of people who live where you live to pay money to watch me figure shit out. none of you ever watched me figure shit out when you had to pay for it, but oh, let fucking Seattle Zone come in. Let this fucking piece of shit come in there. He's a good guy. I'm glad you guys are here. You know, he asked me to do the show, and then I found out basically tonight that the show was going to be him doing new shit. And so I looked at my notes, and I was like, well, fucking, I'm not going to do. I don't have to do good. Right? Because there's no pressure on me to do well. You didn't pay to see me. Why would I do things that I worked on when I could just fuck around? I'm not gonna just fuck around. I'm gonna do pretty good. I don't know if you've seen me before. Has anyone? That makes me sad. All right, 1, 2, 3, and Dorothy, she don't count. Okay, all right. Ah, fuck. All right. Well, hey, the three of you, tell these other people I'm fucking good, dude. Yeah, you're getting a deal. All right. I'm normally at Moda. Shut up. Watching Blazer games. Fuck you guys. Hell yeah. I'm normally standing in line. Comedy. I didn't even know that this space was a space until I got here. I know about Curious. I've been supporting them, and I've been loving what they've been doing for years. And then I walked up to the front, and I stood there like an asshole, just. And then drove around the corner and saw all you good people standing in line. I was like, okay. Bo, you got me again. You slick guy. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be out of the house. Another reason why I feel like I should follow my buddy Bo's footstep by trying new material out. That's fun because it's fun. It's fun to try out stuff in front of honest people to get an honest reaction. Sure, whatever. But the main reason why I want to try new stuff is I have been home for the last couple of months. I got a 4-month-old baby boy, right? Yeah, that's right. Clap for me. I did it. That's right. Me. My wife was there or whatever, but I've been in dad mode. Just covered in pee and poop and puke, and that's just my wife. Gross. New dad mode. So coming back out and doing stand-up, it's been real weird because I'm just trying to figure out new material. Also, I don't want to be hack and just be like, oh, hey, let me just talk about my kid. I don't want to be the light-skinned Everybody Loves Raymond. I don't want to be that guy. I'm still young. I'm hip. Also, I think people do need a black Ray Romano. That's a new thing. Also, I feel like I should say I am black. I know the lighting is weird. A couple people are like, oh, okay. True, I'm a biracial angel. Dad's black, mom is Filipino, which is why I look like all the Black Eyed Peas at one time. Right? New dad. Oh, he's such a sturdy little fella. Any parents in here? Okay. Hell yeah. Any parents of little boys? Okay. That number got smaller. Here's the thing. This is what I wasn't ready for. I didn't know that newborn baby boys had such big balls. I wasn't ready for that. Just letting you guys know. No one told me. It wasn't in any of the what to expect when expecting books. I didn't expect to be shocked and also jealous. Jealous of my son's huge, smooth balls. Didn't know that was gonna happen. Didn't know what's gonna happen. For the first couple of weeks, I was just like, oh, you don't even deserve these. Oh, they're so smooth, they're so new. No mileage. Every time I changed his diaper, it was like, old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you. He made me shave my shit. Manscaped.com. I just fucking, I went and shaved it all off. I showed it to him. He's not impressed. Me and my wife, we did not get our little boy circumcised. That is a surprise for us. Okay. Here's the thing. I've said that once. That's Bo. He's circumcised. I didn't. Every show I do, Bo runs across. He's like, I'm cut. Look at me. I'm not a weirdo like your son. It wasn't even a thought whether or not we were going to do it. Like, I'm snipped. I'm not a freak. But I'm just kidding. Or not. But after my wife, we were in the hospital. It was the day after she gave birth, and then one of the outstanding nurses walked into the room. She was like, would you all like to meet the doctor or set an appointment with the doctor that will circumcise your son? And we both go, yeah, sure, of course. So we expected a doctor, like what you would envision a doctor to look like, to walk into the room. And instead it was, how can I explain this? Maybe it was like the night manager of a TGI Fridays. Like a guy with suspenders with way too much flair. He was bald but had a white ponytail, like the longest ponytail. He looked like a guy who didn't show up but appeared when we talk about snipping a little boy's tweenus. He's like, someone's here to take the tip? That's me. Didn't do it. Didn't do it. So now I'm struggling with like, okay, well, I know that there's no medical advantage for getting the little boy circumcised or anything like that. It's like, all right. Also, we didn't want to put him through any trauma if we didn't need to. That was our big thing. Why would we cut this little huge balls, this kids? Why would we do that if we don't need to, right? And I was like, yeah. I told him, yeah, I agree. Let's not traumatize this little guy. But then I was thinking to myself, I don't remember at all. I don't. Fellas, where we at? Yes. My guys, a little just off the top. All right, okay. I'm snipped. I don't remember it happening. But maybe I don't remember it happening because my little infant brain blocked it out because it was so traumatizing. Here's the thing about memory and trauma and all that stuff is, okay, so for most of my young life, I had this reoccurring dream that I was lost in the rainforest. And shut up. And I was terrified, and I was always looking for someone to help me. And the dream always ended the same way. I would get to, I'd make my way through the branches and the trees, and it would open up, and there'd be a waterfall, huge waterfall. And I'm in, huge waterfall, right? Right, and I'm standing there, and all of a sudden that worry and that fear of not being able to find someone that I needed, someone that would comfort me, just disappeared. And then all of a sudden, out of the waterfall, just a big black snake would come piercing through the water. Big waterfall, me, snake, pierce through the waterfall and try to get me. And out of nowhere, my dad would come swinging from a vine, and he'd be like, no! Right? This big black snake would come get me, and my dad was like, nah, no! I had that dream for several years. And I started going to therapy. And a couple years after I started going to therapy, my therapist and I realized, just because I don't remember taking showers with my dad as a young boy, Doesn't mean it didn't happen. Hey, Bo, new jokes, man. Next slide. Oh, you guys were supposed to see a picture of me and my dad showering as a boy. Graphic. I had a weird interaction with an older gentleman at Freddy's today. Relatable. Hey, Bo, Freddy's is slang for Fred Meyer. That's what me and the locals. Do they have that in Seattle? I think we can all agree that the self-checkout line, the starting point, like where you line up for the self-checkout line, is very ambiguous. None of us really know. No one really knows. Everyone likes to guess where the line starts. My lovely wife, who gave birth to my son with huge smooth balls, sent me the story. She's like, babe, before you go out today, I need a couple things for for dinner, a couple ingredients to make for dinner. Can you go out before you go and tell strangers about our son's balls? I was like, Roger that. So she gives me a list. I make it to my local Freddy's, and I'm walking down the aisles, and I pass by the wine aisle, and down the wine aisle, I see a cardboard cutout of a fella named Dave Matthews. For those of you who don't know, he was the lead singer of Dave Matthews Band. I had to investigate, and it turns out Mr. Matthews has his own blend of red wine. It's called Dreaming Tree. A little behind the curtain, I'll just let you know, I tasted a little bit of it. It's fucking terrible. All right, so let's back up. I'm in Freddy's. I see Dave Matthews Band wine. I grab just one. I grab 4 bottles. I'm excited. I'm like, sweet tune. Yeah. I grew up around a lot of white kids. So I'm double fisting Dave Matthews Band wine. I forget about everything my wife told me to get. That list is fucking gone. I fucking got rid of that shit. And I make a beeline towards the self-checkout line. And I get to what I think is the front of the self-checkout line. And I'm standing there, and I got my 4 bottles. I'm like, satellite. And I'm just ready. If you got these references, you're a fucking nerd too. And I'm standing there, and I'm excited to go pay for my own shit. And behind me, I just hear a lot of huffing and puffing. I'm just here. Are we even in America? I was like, what the fuck? Right? I turn around and I see an elderly gentleman. He looks like he doesn't have a lot of time. He's frustrated. And I was like, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't see you. I was excited. I got to what I thought was the front. That's my mistake. Go right ahead. I apologize. And he looks up at me and he said something to me that I've only ever heard of people saying, but never actually had it said to me. He goes, buddy, you are cruising for a bruising. Right? I didn't know what to think. I shot right back. I was like, oh yeah, well, you're hurting for a squirting. I didn't know. I thought we were just trading bars. I didn't know what was happening. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, please me, don't tease me, Poppy. Like, his fucking toupee fell off, his suspenders popped. It was wild. So, I mean, apparently what I did was diffuse what could have been a very bad situation by just hitting on an elderly gentleman in Freddy's, you know? He's not even a bad guy. We split half a bottle of Dave Matthews Band wine in the parking lot, man. Shout out to Edgar. That's my guy. It's bad wine, though. Don't buy it. Dreaming Tree. What else can I say? Let's see. So I'm so glad that you, like, many of you have probably seen my buddy Bo on the internets, Instagram. You know I got it. TikTok. I'm like this guy with the beard. No, thank you. Not for me. Not for me. I'm all set. That's the state of comedy. I'm so glad that you all are here now to watch me, Dorothy, and Bo do what we do in real time, in person, around other people, where we can smell you. But I think you will all agree, like, a lot of people have gotten used to watching stand-up on their phone, right? In little 30, 60-second clips with subtitles and all that stuff. And, you know, I gotta say, it sucks, but just to pull back the curtain, right now, there is a camera. That is recording everything that I'm saying. And as much as I hate it, I will take that tape home later on tonight. And I'm gonna chop that shit up into little 30-second or 60-second clips and painstakingly subtitle everything I'm saying to you. And post it online so that someone somewhere out there can say the meanest shit anyone has ever said to me in their life. That's stand-up now. But sometimes people will say some mean shit that is also kind of like, all right, you got me on that one, right? Like this one clip I posted online, you know, it went viral or whatever, but it's not important, but why leave it out? Right? Millions of views. This guy commented, this guy is either the blackest Asian dude I've ever seen or the most Asian black guy I've ever seen. Either way, pretty funny. Right? And another guy on a completely different clip, also funny, also viral. I'm really good. Another guy commented, this guy tells the same types of jokes my Filipino uncle tells at backyard barbecues to make young people feel uncomfortable. Here's the thing, both of these dipshits are right. Because I am half black and half Asian, and I am half Filipino, and I do have a niece, and she has told me several times, Uncle Shane, you gotta stop saying weird shit to my friends at these backyard functions. All right, that's my time. My name is Shane Brendan. You guys have been great. Give it up for Bo Johnson, everybody.
Keep it going for Shane, everybody. Very, very bold to talk shit before I've sent him his payment for the show. Also, Shane, the most annoying answer ever to Dewey had Fred Meyers in Seattle. The food banking program I worked on for 9 years was heavily involved with their donated produce. And I'll be taking your money for the show and sending to them to support. Keep it going for Shane, everybody. All right, I know there were two people who got into the show late. I don't do this to roast you. I just want you to know that when you go home later tonight and you go, man, we presumably paid to see Bo do new material, I want you to know that you missed 16 minutes of it. And I don't say that to make you feel bad, but so you know, if you're like, it feels like I paid more than what the show was supposed to be, that wasn't my fault. So I'm gonna do my best to make it up to you, but I want you to know that, honestly, probably some of the stuff I was the most excited to do already happens. And that's okay, because you can watch it online later. Just to catch you up to speed on one thing, if I could ask one more question. Olive, right? Yeah. So Olive, this feels mean to do it a second time, but Olive came to a show that I was opening for and sent me a DM and basically broke up with her boyfriend because he didn't think I was funny. There's more to it than that, but that's what I got from the message. So I did have some more questions, actually. Have you, for the inevitable fight when you wear this shirt home tonight? Could we show them the shirt, actually? It's a shirt that says, "I went to a Bo Johnson comedy show and I didn't laugh one time." And then the back says, "So I got dumped by my super rad girlfriend." So now you're caught up. And it was better the first time, but have you addressed the fact that it's insane behavior to unfollow you on Instagram while you still live together? That's.
I felt insane to bring it up.
Okay, yeah, that's reasonable. Okay. Way to give a genuine answer. Okay, so we're gonna do some more new material. There's some more with the PowerPoint, and then we'll do some stand-up. So the next thing I wanted to show you was another email that I got. So next. This is an email that goes, "Hello, Bo. We've never met. I'm a big fan of your comedy, and I subscribe to your YouTube channel." And then in case I was confused, they made sure to link to my YouTube channel. I enjoy shorts of yours like Whoa Nelly, Massage Therapist Parents, and they go, "Such a good bad boy." So no, where is this from? So if we could hit the next slide. "I'm writing to inquire about the possibility of you being a part of our faculty development program for a U.S. Air Force Leader Development course, part of which we teach our new instructors applied improv techniques. I've CC'd my colleague, Dr. Stephen Davis, who is our Director of Faculty Develop. Please let us know if you're interested so we can set up a phone or a Zoom call." I was surprised. Also, I wanted to let you know, I thought about this for a while. We all know the military has a lot of money, and I do not. So, and I want to be like, I'm like, you can probably guess I'm from Seattle. I don't know where we all lie, but I lie more on the liberal end. I don't love the military-industrial complex, but I do think the military should get as much money as they want. I just think that they should have to raise it the same way other programs do. So like when the state basketball team at like a public school needs to go to state, I think that they should get all of the hottest generals together to do a car wash. But I knew they had a lot of money and I was interested, And to be clear, I have no improv background. Zero. But what would the most improv thing be to do other than say, "Yes, and sir"? So, also, I wanted to know before the meeting a little bit more about who I might be meeting with, so I Googled Stephen Davis Air Force Academy, and this is what came up. It's a real improv face right there. We get next slide, please. So this is who I thought I was going to be meeting with. And to be clear, this was not actually the guy on the call, but there was a 2-week window where I was like, this is very confusing. I did think about it for a while, and I thought it was a pretty exciting opportunity because I was like, when you see a guy wearing camo and he's like, "I'm a tree." I'm like, I taught him that. Also, I've always felt like I do have a very Air Force vibe. Like if you watch Top Gun, it looks like I would fit in the movie. Regrettably, I think I would be the guy who's like, "That's not allowed." That would be insane. I would be a character in the movie called Silly Goose. And all right, next slide. I think that's now back to the new material. So I do get to go all around the country doing this. And I try to be like a tourist when I'm on the road. And I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I looked up kind of like top things to do, and one of them was the Historic Rattlesnake Museum. And so I went online, I looked it up, and on the website they go, voted the #1 rattlesnake museum on Yelp. And that's cool for them. I'm not gonna take that away from them. But I feel like there's not a lot of competition. I feel like the #2 rattlesnake museum is just a guy's house in Florida. He doesn't know he's operating Rattlesnake Museum at all. Before you go in, he's just so you know, got a lot of rattlesnakes in there. The rattlesnake is a crazy animal, you know, because on one hand, it's a deadly snake. On the other, if it's feeling aggressive, it's going to attack. It just makes the same noise a baby would with a rattle. And that's a weird thing for a deadly animal to do. That's like if you were out in the woods and you saw a bear, you're like, hopefully the bear isn't aggressive. And the bear just reached behind his back and took out a tambourine. And you're like, oh no, it's a tambourine bear. That's the most dangerous type of bear there is. So what do you do when you see a bear, right? You gotta make a lot of noise. So your hiking poles, you're banging those together. Bear's got his tambourine going. And you're just jamming with a bear. So after the show, I had a guy come over and he goes, just so you know, black bears don't like noise. Grizzly bears get more aggressive. And you needed to know that because you're spreading disinformation. And there's gonna be blood on your hands. And I was like, all right, I hope no one's taking their bear safety protocol from the tambourine bear joke in my act. But while I have the floor on bear safety, I don't think lumberjacks should wear flannel into the woods because they're just packing a picnic blanket for the bear. But in seriousness, you know, if you see a black bear, make some noise. And you should fact check all of this, by the way. If you see a grizzly bear, remain calm. And if you're lucky enough to see a tambourine bear in the wild, yell Freebird and enjoy the show. But growing up, you know, I'm an only child too. And as a kid, I loved baseball. That was my favorite sport. I loved baseball. And so what I would do is I would throw a tennis ball at the wall of the house. I would play catch every single day with the ball. And I realized that's actually the only type of practice that looks lonely. Like if you see a kid shooting hoops by himself, you're like, that's a college scholarship right there. You see a kid putting alone, you're like, that's a businessman right there. You see a kid with a yo-yo, you're like, he probably wanted to be left alone anyway. But if you just see a kid throwing a tennis ball at the wall of the house, you're like, does he know he's not in the Shawshank Redemption right now? And so one Christmas, my mom and my dad, my big gift that year is they got me this new piece of technology. It was called the pitchback. And the pitchback is just a net that you throw the ball at. It's really the same as the wall. It's just a net instead. And my parents were like, do you love it? And I was like, honestly, I just wanted a brother. But you know, growing up, I grew up in the era where it wasn't really clear which search engine was going to come out on top yet. There was Google, there was Yahoo, and there was my favorite as a kid. There was Jeeves. I love Jeeves. Remember Jeeves, the one with the butler, right? And I finally put together why I think Jeeves didn't make the cut. I think it's because people mostly use the internet for porn. And so people were going to Jeeves and being like, stepsisters? And Jeeves was like, what about stepsisters? Like, never mind, actually. But I loved to read when I was younger. That was the big thing for me. When I was a kid, I loved reading. And in 7th grade, they told me that I read at a 12th grade level. pretty cool, pretty impressive. I'm 31 years old now, proud to say that I still do. And I've been trying to get back into reading again, though, you know. So I was in San Francisco about 2 months ago, and I go into the bookstore. I'm immediately drawn to this golden-covered fantasy novel. It's got a gold cover. It's got dragon wings across the front. It's a book called Fourth Wing. Yeah, you know Fourth Wing. So I hate to continue the theme of the evening, but I finished the book, and it turns out I love literature written for horny women. So if you don't know Fourth Wing, it's a novel about an elite dragon riding academy. It's pretty much Top Gun, but for dragons, actually. Only if Maverick and Iceman did full penetration. So I'm reading the book in Baltimore. Me and my buddy Tyler were sharing a hotel room together. And he's like, I have a book too. How fun would it be if we each read a page? And he's like, I hate that idea. And he goes, come on. My book is about the history of storytelling. And it turns out story is actually passed down in human tradition the same way like eye color is. Isn't that fascinating? I was like, yeah, my book kind of says the same thing, actually, so you could probably just move on. He goes, come on, read it. So I take my book out, and I was like, my book says that when my dragon gets horny for its dragon soulmate, I also get, like, really horny for my human boyfriend. So that's what's going on in there. And I get back to Seattle, I get home, and it turns out one of my roommates, she's reading the book, but she goes, I do audiobook. You could consider doing that, you know? You're a busy guy. You could listen, work out at the gym at the same time. I was like, that wouldn't work for me with this book. I can't just be rock hard on the elliptical. When I was in my early 20s, I always wanted to go to this place in Los Angeles. It's called the Magic Castle. And you know the Magic Castle. What I'm finding out by talking about Fourth Wing and the Magic Castle is that me and all of the people who enjoy me, we're cool in our own way. So Magic Castle, if you don't know, though, it's the world's most exclusive magicians club. It's like the Playboy Mansion of magic. So it's really nothing like the Playboy Mansion at all. And if you want to go, there's a couple things. First of all, you either need to be a member, and that costs a couple $1,000s, or you need to get an invitation from a magician. And that's a pretty tough thing. A lot of people have a really hard time getting an invitation. I had an easier time than I would have preferred. It turns out I am very closely connected to the magician community. The other thing you need is it's a dress code. You got to have a suit, a tie. I didn't own that at the time, so I had to go to Men's Warehouse. And the guy there told me I would look great in a navy suit with a purple shirt and a purple tie. And I trusted him. And I flew to Los Angeles. I put it on for a second time. I was like, I look like a fucking magician. I can't wear this to the Magic Castle. That'd be like going to Best Buy and shopping in a blue polo. So if you get the chance to go, the Magic Castle, there's a big show at the end of the night. And that's pretty cool, too. You know, there was one part of the evening at the end of the night where the magician, he was a very young, cool magician, and he goes, I'm going to need 3 strong men. And I was there with 4 friends, and we all are kind of now looking at each other like, I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you. And he didn't pick any of us. And I'm not saying that I'm like a really tough alpha guy, but at the Magic Castle, I was like, I think I have a shot. But my favorite part is there's a small stage there. It's maybe about the size of this rug right here, actually. And you can see recently passed new magicians working on new material. And the guy we saw, his name was the Incredible Sal. And Sal is the worst magician I've seen in my entire life. He's just messing up basic card trick, you know? And it was incredible, because bad magic is actually far more exciting than good magic. Have you ever seen a man say, "ta-da," and show you the wrong card? Like if you go to Las Vegas, you see a celebrity magician, end of the night, they're always gonna cut their assistant in half. And you can leave early, she's fine, I promise. But if that guy is messing up basic card trick after basic card trick, and he reaches into a little leather satchel and he takes out a saw, like, I better pay close attention. Because I might be the key witness in a murder investigation. Okay, we gotta review the notes. Okay, we're working through some of the stuff that's more developed, and we're reaching dangerous territory in the next 10 minutes or so. My therapist told me recently that for insurance purposes, she was gonna be switching to becoming a life coach. I was like, oh, can I still call you my therapist though? Because I don't mind people knowing that I'm mentally ill. But I don't want them to think that I'm a loser. Because life coaches are the PE teachers of the therapy world. But they don't even have a whistle. And the truth is, though, I had my first session with my new life coach. And I was like, I've been feeling a little bit sad. And she goes, that's heavy. You should talk to a therapist about that. I had a therapist for 5 years, life coach for 1 month. And I stopped seeing her because when I quit my day job, I had to decide. I could only afford either a therapist or a massage therapist. And the thing is, anything you would say to a therapist, you can also say to a massage therapist. They're just not really trained or paid to deal with it. So I'd be on the table and I'd be like, you know, sometimes I fly to another city and I don't feel funny. I'm tired. I just am a guy on stage quoting a guy who used to be funny 23 days ago. And she doesn't know what to do, so she'll just share a secret of her own with me. And she'd be like, I met my husband when I was 19 years old. And we've been together now for about 22 years. And I've been waking up in the middle of the night realizing that I never learned who I am as an individual. And I'm dealing with the reality that I'm gonna have to walk away from the most important person in my life. And I'll just be like, deeper, please. But now she's in her own world, and she's like, well, it all started with my parents. And I'll be like, no, I think actually our time has come to an end. I was in the department store recently. Oh, not during the bird in the department store joke. I was in a department store, and there was a bird in there. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so when there's a bird in the department store. And I was like, that must be so embarrassing for that bird. Because most birds, they can fly 16,000 miles, no trouble. They never get lost. And this guy's like, how do I get out of this Costco right now? Why'd they even let me in? I'm not a member of this place. I feel like it must be even worse when he meets up with all of his buddies later that year. And they're like, Doug, do you even fly south for the winter? And he's like, no, I kind of do my own thing, actually. And like, well, you missed out. Florida was beautiful. And it's like, you know what's pretty nice during the winter? The hot dog stand. Okay, we gotta review the notes. For the record, we've done about 35 minutes of new material. You missed 16, but okay, some of these we're getting dumber. I'll try. I will, but I'm worried about the honesty. I did the Fourth Wing. I know that you saw Fourth Wing before, but I didn't know that people would be coming to that show. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this one, you run. Run faster. Okay. This one, okay, this one's really stupid, but we'll throw it out there. I've been watching a lot of like the Discovery Channel lately, and one of the programs they said that most of the time when sharks attack, it's because the shark mistook the person for a seal. I was like, that feels like a very one-sided argument by the shark. Actually, I don't remember how it goes. We're gonna skip to the next one here. It's even dumber. The next, no, don't humor me. The next thing was about it was about monogamous animals. And one of them was beavers. Beavers are monogamous animals. They mate for life. And that actually didn't strike me as a surprise, because if you ever look at a photo of two beavers, they look exactly like a married couple from the Midwest. And I do think it's a bummer the beavers are monogamous. I'm sorry you're coming back to a very stupid joke. Because Beaver Divorce Court would have been my favorite show. And that's where that ends for now. I've been visiting my folks a lot lately, and it's interesting seeing like a neighborhood shift over time. Like I drove by, it used to be the first ever guitar shop about a guitar, and the guitar shop is now a weed dispensary. And that actually feels less like the neighborhood changing, to be honest, and more like the natural evolution. Like I had a friend in high school who he used to buy weed in the parking lot of the guitar shop for one of the guys who worked there. And I think it'd be fun if you went in now and you're just like, hey, do you have any ukuleles back there? I live in Seattle in a very wealthy neighborhood. I live in a mansion with 9 roommates right now. And I was home alone this week, and a delivery guy came and he knocked on the door and he opened it up, and he has Eastern European accent. I'm going to do it wrong, but he was like, how do you afford this place? I was like, well, I just picked myself up by my bootstraps. No. I lived there with 9 roommates, and we're the only renters in the neighborhood, you know? And you can tell because you'll walk around and you'll see like a Ferrari, a Porsche, a new BMW. There's just my beat up 99 Camry with tape on it. So like we live there, but kind of the same way. Did you ever get like bumped up to first class on a flight? But after they've already sat the flight? So then everyone has their champagne already. I just come up, I have like a Gatorade bottle I refilled with water in the airport. Like, we're all the same here. But it's the nicest neighborhood I've ever lived in. I can tell also because, like my old neighborhood, my old apartment, you would walk around and you would see rats and raccoons. And now if you go for a stroll, you'll see rabbits, you'll see butterflies, you'll see like a robin. And that's how you can tell that a neighborhood is really finished gentrifying. It's when all of the Disney animals start to show up. Oh, I really went too far with the Disney animal gentrification joke. Okay, we're gonna start. We have to read a little more. Some of these are gonna become a bit more disjointed, and we're just gonna see if they work. So I feel like we're reaching you've got your money's worth pretty. Well, whether you have your money's worth or not, I have your money. So we're gonna go through some of these one by one. There's only 3 things in my life that anyone's ever tried to sell me unsolicited on the street. And in no particular order, it's drugs, it's religion, and it's mixtapes. And just in my own experience, the drug dealers have always been the most polite about it. Like, I used to walk by this grocery store on my way home from school every day when I was in college, and this guy would stand out there and go, "Weed, chronic?" And I go, "No, thank you." I didn't smoke during college yet. And I had a breakup one time. None of my roommates were home. I just wanted to go for a walk. I didn't even have class that day. I walked by the grocery store. He was like, weed, chronic? And I was like, no, thank you. And he go, no worries, big man. And that felt pretty good. Religion, I used to be the door guy at a bar, and I would take the bus to work, and I would get off, and there was a guy in the corner nearby, and he would yell, he'd go, hey man, Jesus loves you. And that just felt kind of rude to me, you know? Because it took me back to when I was in 7th grade, and I told my best friend, Matt, that under the confidence of a sleepover, that I had a crush on this girl, Claire, in our biology class. And he told her the next week. And so that guy would be like, hey man, Jesus loves you. And I was like, maybe Jesus is building up the courage to tell me himself. And now with a mixtape is the only thing, I don't know if it's the same here in Portland, but when someone has sold me one, it's the only thing where they'll put it in your hands, let go, and now it's your job to sell it back to them. They'll be like, do you like rap music? I'm like, well, maybe, do you? Okay, we did that one. Sorry, I'm gonna, let's see, what else do we? Okay, some of these we're just gonna see if the premise is funny, then we'll do some more stuff that'll work. I haven't said these before. So, do you guys, you ever like take an elevator and then, I'm worried that maybe I'm too self-centered, because sometimes I'll be in the elevator, you know, the door's open, and then you just get out and it's the wrong floor. And I'm like, well, clearly the elevator works for me. Okay, we don't like that, or I'll reframe it. I love when people, if someone is like paying you back for something, but for whatever reason they don't have American money, they have like money from another country. I love that, because it feels very aspirational to take the currency from them, where they're like, does this work? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Iceland someday. Okay, that's a little bit better. We're getting warmer. I had a friend show me recently, he's like, I wrote a bucket list, and I read down it, and it was just like, you know, swimming with sharks, skydiving, running with the bulls. Whenever I see a bucket list, I'm like, this is just a list of ways to die. This feels like less of things to do and more like you're trying to get out of that. That's the start of it right there. Okay. Okay, we'll go back to some stuff that... Okay, what do we have left next year? I did have some more slides, actually. Oh, I don't want to do this. We'll do the next one. Okay, so this is when I said arguably some of it wouldn't be stand-up. We're entering that portion of the show. So a lot of the things that Shane touched upon is we have to make all of this, like, you know, quote-unquote viral content. And sometimes that's kind of suffocating. So I was up pretty late one night, and I made this instead. If we could hit the next one. I made a series of Freddy Krueger memes. This one's pretty self-explanatory. We can do the next one. When there's a sunglass kiosk in the mall. One more. I like this. This is when you think someone's waving at you, but really they're just waving their friend, and now you're waving your knife hand around for no good reason. The next one. One more. So at this point in the night, I was getting really excited about the Freddy Krueger memes, and I had sent like 15 of them, because you're seeing the best of them. I sent like 15 of them to my girlfriend, and she was being like, you know, politely receptive, but I was like, this is the best thing I've ever made. And I was like, you have to make some for me to show that you like them. And so she sent me this one. When your relationship suddenly depends on making Freddy Krueger memes. One more. And then we'll do the last one. When you bought tickets to see a comedian you enjoy, work out new material, but just a bunch of Freddy Krueger memes. Okay, let's see. What time are we at? We started 15 late. Okay, we'll do a couple more jokes, and we're going to do the end of the show, which is, we'll see if you guys like it. It's the second time it's been done. Okay. Let's see. I feel like a lot of the romantic moments of my life have been with the wrong people. Like I was after high school, I was in college, and me and my friend Matt, we'd never ridden the Ferris wheel in town. And so we took it, we were like, let's just do it together, and it got stuck at the top, right as the sun was setting. And looking back on it, it's like, we should have kissed, you know? Because you only get so many moments like that in your life. I don't think it matters who you're with, you should take advantage of it. Like if I'm on a park bench and there's just some like guy in his 80s sitting next to me and the sun's going down, we're watching the waves roll in. I'm like, you know, I think the big man wants us to kiss. It's like, you know, actually I'm married. I go, well, marriage is an institution, and this sunset is divine. Don't you see two dolphins leaping in a heart shape right now? Did that. Is there anything else that we missed? Oh, this is so stupid. Okay, we'll do one or two more, and then we're gonna end the show. We did most of the good stuff. So I'm on the road most weekends, and so I have this service called Clear at the airport. And if you don't know Clear, when you sign up, what you do is you give them your passport. They take an imprint of your fingerprints, they do a retinal scan, and they take all of your financial information. It feels like either identity theft or they're asking for all of the tools to frame you for murder. And I was going through Clear not too long back, and I was just like kind of in that weird headspace where you like forget you're not talking to a friend, and the guy was like, fingers or eyes? And I was like, I'm actually more of an ass man myself. And he was like, I don't get health insurance. I was like, eyes, please. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. I think one more, and then we'll. A lot of my friends that are dudes, they don't like astrology, and I don't get it. I don't know if I believe in astrology, but I also don't have an issue with it. Like all astrology has ever been to me is women saying nice things about me that might not even be true. Like I was at a party in my early 20s, and I was talking to this woman. She goes, "What's your birthday?" I was like, "It's March 28th." She goes, "Oh, you're an Aries." I was like, "What does that mean?" She goes, "It means that you're brave." I was like, "Do you want to make out?" And she's like, "I knew you were brave." And then we made out in her geo tracker for 2 hours. And I was like, I love astrology. At the last party I was at, I met like a friend of a friend. And what was interesting about him is that I found out that he's a flat earther. And that isn't the part that was exciting or interesting. It's the fact that he was also a pilot. And I'm not saying you can't be a pilot and a flat earther. I'm just saying I think your routes are going to take a lot longer. And I feel like it would be like fun that you're like on a date with him and you're like, you can fly me around the world. He's like, I could fly you across it. But I think travel would be more fun with conspiracy theorist pilots. I would love it. I would love travel a lot more if the pilot just came on and he was like, if you take a look out the left, you might see the Rockies. And if you look a little bit further, you'll see the giant fan they use to blow the papier-mâché moon across the sky. Okay, so we got to wrap up. So we'll end up, next slide. Okay, so this is the end of the show, and then we all got to get out of here. You might remember Ken Bone. Does anyone not know Ken Bone? Oh man, this really you guys might hate this. So, Ken Bone was the undecided voter, I believe, in maybe the Mitt Romney, which, is it like a long time ago now, right? So, he was an undecided voter. We'll see if this carries over. But anyway, that's Ken Bone. You can look him up later, and despite the evidence in the room right now, he was a very popular meme for a moment. So during the pandemic, when we got a lot of money from the government, a lot is generous. When we got $2,000 or so from the government, I spent most of it on cameos for me and my friends online. And Ken Bone is available for only $25. So next slide. This was back in 2021. I requested a cameo from Ken Bone. My wife Susan and I, after careful consideration and couples counseling, are getting divorced. Our kids dressed up as you for Halloween years ago. It was a wonderful family memory. And a video of you breaking the news might lighten the experience. So here we go. Next slide.
Hey, Teddy and Kelsey, this is Ken Bone. You might remember me a little bit. A couple years ago, you dressed up as me for Halloween. It was probably really funny and cute. Your parents talked to me and they asked me to let you know something. That, sometimes when adults are together for a long time, they find that they've just kind of grown apart. And it's not really anybody's fault. It's definitely not their kids' fault. It's just something that unfortunately happens. And so they've decided they're not going to be married anymore, but they're still going to be your mom and dad. They're still going to love you very much. And they just want you to know that they love you, and this is not because of you or anything that you did. So, sorry to be the one to tell you this, but everything's going to be okay. Okay, and now stop the video if you're showing it to the kids. If this was a joke, which I suspected it was, that's pretty fucking funny. I was going to decline this one because I thought it was either a joke or it was wildly inappropriate. If it was a joke, it is very funny. Also, I have your money now.
Okay. So we gotta rush through so they can do the late show, but some time goes by, and this is a year later, so I feel like he kind of got the best of me in the first one. So I said, "Hi, Ken. In the spring of 2021, my wife and I, we made the hard decision to separate. But, we were rehashing around with a glass of wine, and one thing led to another, and we're back together again. And maybe you could help us navigate that next step with our kids." So here we go.
Hey, Teddy and Kelsey, this is Ken Bone. You might remember me. I talked to you once before when your mom and dad decided they needed to spend some time apart. And now, they've decided that they're going to be together again. And you know what? That's really good news. It's always fun to have mom and dad together in the same place. It's a good situation, but I'm going to tell you, just like I told you before, remember this. It's not because of you or what you did. You're fantastic. You're great kids. Mom and dad both love you very much, both individually and together, regardless of whether they're involved and whether they're staying together or not. Both of them love you. Both of them support you and want what is best for you. And they're working out what's best for themselves and for each other also. But they're always, always going to remember to take care of you first, because they're a good mom and dad, and they want to be the best they can for you guys because you're awesome and they love you. And I am wishing all the best for you, and I know some things are going to be confusing for a little bit, but that's okay because life can be confusing sometimes, but usually works out for the best, like it seems to here. So I hope you guys have a great holiday together as a family, and I wish you all the best.
All right, so that's the second one. And then one more. So I kind of felt like we needed to take a turn. You know how like in Lost, the writers kind of didn't know what to do after a certain point? I kind of got there. So I said, "Hey, Ken, you've been monumental to our family, and I was laid off recently, and so we're gonna have to move to my sister's basement in Pittsburgh. And to our oldest, she's gonna go to college with her boyfriend, but we can't really afford that anymore, so you'll have to stay in Pittsburgh with the family." And then one final video, and then we'll wrap the show up.
Hey, Teddy and Kelsey, it's Ken Bone. I'm back again. I know a lot of the times you see me, it's not the greatest news, but sometimes it is awesome. So yeah, I'm here to let you know of a big development again. See, Mom and Dad and you guys also gonna be moving to Pittsburgh to live with your aunt for a while down in the basement. And Kelsey, unfortunately, this means that you're not gonna be able to, or your parents aren't gonna be able to pay for you to do college in Boston. That it's gonna be a lot more practical for you to do junior college near Pittsburgh. But you know what? That is okay. I went to community college and later to a tech school. I was able to build a wonderful career off of that. Look, more expensive universities do not equate to better education. Definitely not in all cases. And you know what? We all go through tough times in our lives. Like, bad stuff happens. It rains on the just and the unjust alike. But you get through it. I mean, I've gone through my share of trials and stuff. You get through it, and it sounds like you have a wonderful support network with your family around, and you're going to take care of each other. You're going to get there. So, you know, I'm wishing the best for all of you. Teddy, Kelsey, everything's going to be okay. This is not because of anything you did. It's just, you know, the job market. It bit your dad. It happens. It's not because of anything he did wrong either. So stick together, support each other, and everything's going to be just fine.
There you go. That's the last things. I just thought, you know, among all of the years, a lot of stuff changes, and Ken Bone's price has been pretty consistent. And one more slide, last slide. So I'm going to say, you know, this is the end of the show. There's a late show after this, but I just want to say it doesn't sound like I mean it because of my voice, but thank you for coming to this kind of weird little experiment. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, thank you. If you enjoyed Shane or Dorothy, I've got their Instagrams right here. And then if you haven't seen me before, you want to see videos or stuff like from the show tonight, there's Bo Johnson Comedy, that's mine. And probably how I reached a majority of you is if you go to the link tree on your phone, I got a little mailing list, and I'll write when I come back to like Portland, or if I put something out and I'll say like, hey, it's going to be a weird new show, or I'm doing my regular act, and you can decide if you want to come or not. But that's kind of the most helpful way for me to reach people without spending a bunch of money on ads, because what Shane said is real. You spend money on ads, and then people write stuff, but you're like just paying for you to be bullied online. So I like the mailing list, but thank you for coming. And I have the regular merch I sell at my shows here. If you want some, no pressure. It's just a Do Life Not Drugs t-shirt and a Not How Daddy Does It t-shirt. And those would make more sense if I did the jokes tonight, but they're here if you want them. But thank you for coming. There's the link tree, and I'll just hang out here for a sec, and we got to get out of here. Thank you very much, everybody.
remember, don't fight back. Letting go, know that you'll be fine. I'm not counting down on people around, I know I can be. I'm not coming down, I know that I'll be free. I know I can, I know I can, I know I
can. My suitcase is packed under the bed, and our jewels are baked. They're baked in bread, and I'm ready for when they come, and they will all be ready. I can run, I can be still. I've been digging, got a bunker in my backyard, filled with tins and dried fruit. I'm gonna survive the fallout, and I'm ready for when it happens, and it will all be ready. I can run, I can be still. My only fear is how am I gonna save my family? I can get away, I can only take what I can carry. My only fear is how am I gonna save my family? I can get away, I can only take what I can carry. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. My mind's awake. There's always 100 things to think about. Ooh, when to escape is the only question left in doubt. And I'm ready for when they come, and they will all be ready. I can run, I can be still.
This is how it's going to be. One by one you're pulling teeth. I'll see. I deserve it all. I deserve it all. If this is how it's going to be, carrying clouds that are killing everything, I'll be the first to leave. I'll be the first to leave. open wounds of broken bones and the shades of blue I've become subject to since my hands turned to straw. I'm a feather tall in a tale
Hold on, fuck that. Fuck that shit. Hold on. I got to start this motherfucking record over again. Wait a minute. Fuck that shit. Still on this motherfucking record. I'ma play this motherfucker for y'all. Hey, y'all get some more drinks going on. I sound a whole lot better.
Ritualistic, cleansing my soul of addiction for now, 'cause I'm falling apart. Yep. Hold on, fuck that. Fuck that shit. Hold on. I got to start this motherfucking record over again. Wait a minute. Fuck that shit. Still on this motherfucking record. I'ma play this motherfucker for y'all. Hey, y'all get some more drinks going on. I sound a whole lot better. Ritualistic, cleansing my soul of addiction for now, 'cause I'm falling apart.